Hi, I'm going to show you now how to work with margins, orientation and paper size. So normally the default for a Word document, if you don't really change too much and just start typing, is it's going to be formatted to be in portrait, which is lengthways, top to bottom. It's usually going to be an A4 sheet of paper, and the margin, and when I say margin, the gap between the edge of what you type and the edge of the page is going to be fairly wide. Now, there's a few different ways we can change this, but the nicest, easiest way is if we go to the Layout tab, there's a whole section here which is predominantly to do with changing how your page is set up. And really, the majority of what you're going to do when you change how your page is set up is you're going to look at the margin, the orientation, and the paper size. So first of all, let's have a look at them left to right. So margin. This is the gap from the edge of the page to the left of the text. Now, because this document was previously created in an older version of Word, it says, can you see Office 2013 default? But if I just click onto another one of these, let's go for narrow, which is going to be very, very different. What you'll notice is, can you see the text fills out the page much more? Now, these are all preset margins that you can choose. So you got one called normal, there's one called wide. Can you see that makes the margins really big, so obviously there's less space to actually put the text. So you can use these predefined ones, or if you go down to where it says custom margin towards the bottom, can you see you can be very precise? If you definitely need it to be 1 centimeter away from the edge all the way around, well, you would just type in 1 on all of these, and that will change it to 1 centimeter all the way around the edge of that paper. And then once you're ready, we just click OK. Can you see that then changes? But the presets are pretty good in my experience. One little tip with the margin: don't make the margin 0 unless you've got a really expensive printer, because most printers will not allow you to print right to the edge of the paper. Usually they need at least, and I'm basing this on my own personal experience, not anything scientific, but usually it's about 0.5 centimeter at the least you need to have around the edge of that paper as a gap. Next one, orientation. So this is which way around it is. So portrait is standing, upright, and landscape, can you see, is on its side. So it really depends on how you want your paper to appear. And if I zoom out, it'll be a little bit more obvious what I mean by, can you see, landscape and portrait. It kind of flips the way round for you. And then finally, can you see size? This is paper size. So this is far easier to get right, because you're printing on A4, or you're printing on A3, or you're printing on A1. And again, look, more paper sizes. You can go and actually, for instance, if the paper size isn't in there, which to be honest it's highly unlikely, you can specify the width and height if you want. You can also choose where you want the paper to come from. Now, I've not got particularly an expensive printer, but if you've got a fairly good printer, you will have other paper sources, so more than one paper tray, for instance. Okay, so that is a little bit about margins, orientation and paper size within a Word document.